let's organize some task cards together. And I mean like really organize some task cards together. Question number one is, what is a task card? It's one of my favorite activities to use in my classroom, and it's something I use in every single subject area. The idea behind task cards is that they're individual questions on student-sized cards. Typically, you want to print 4 to a page. Now, the classic way you'll see people using task cards is arranging them around the room for students to float an answer, recording their work on an answer sheet. Task cards are so much fun, they're easy to differentiate, but the issue is you can end up with a lot of them very, very quickly. Today I want to share some of my favorite ways to keep these organized. This is an awesome project to work on over the summer, and I hope you're going to find some helpful tips that are going to keep you nice and tidy with your task cards. Tip number one is for the cards themselves. If task cards are something you find yourself using on a really consistent basis, I highly recommend investing in one of these photo cases. So these individual boxes are designed to hold 4x6 photos, so they'll fit your set of task cards perfectly. I think you can fit 20 in each box. I might own 3 boxes, you know, it is what it is. And the way I like to do this, I put an entire subject's worth of cards in one box. So for example, this is my grammar box. These are task cards I use every single week in grammar, so when it's time to pull them out, I know right where to go. You can also store these in small yellow envelopes or plastic sandwich Ziploc bags. These are great tools to help keep your cards all together and from getting mixed up. Another thing I think is super important for task cards is laminating them. That way you have them. They're never going to get injured by student use, and you can pull them out and have them ready to go year for year. Another great idea to help you keep track of everything task card related is to print the answer key the same size as one of the task cards. Then you can just tuck it right in the photo case with your cards, so it's easy to grade because your answer key is right there with it. Another important thing to remember when you're organizing your task cards is to think smarter, not work harder. Whenever I put task cards in one of these photo cases, there's a few things I make sure I do every time. When they're going in this case, I want them to be completely prepped and ready to go. That means it's going to be laminated, cut, numbered, and I have my answer key in the case with my cards. I also always label the case itself so I know what unit it's going to go with. If you're doing them in a certain order, you can even number them. Now, I labeled mine with vinyl. That doesn't mean you have to do that. Pop an address label on there, write it on, or even write it directly on the box in Sharpie. That way you always know the contents of your task cards. Even more, always leave notes for yourself in your plans so you know you have task cards for it. Nothing's worse than scrambling to find a task card for multiplication using arrays, and then you open up your supplies and realize you actually already had task cards and they were laminated and ready to go. Leave smart notes for yourself in your plans. Another question we get all the time about task cards is where to put them around the room. My favorite organization trick for this is the use of sticky clips. Sticky clips are a product that are tricky to find, but if you do find them, I promise they're worth every penny. I love to put these repositional clips up around the room. So anytime I'm going to use task cards, the clip is already attached to the surface they're going to be on. No more carrying your tape dispenser around with you to hang your task cards. This is an activity I love to give my students during dismissal. I love to pass out my cards and say, hang these up for me, we're using them tomorrow. It's a quick, easy way for your students to help you hang up task cards around the room. One less thing on your to-do list. If you're looking for task cards to use in your classroom, look no further. The question is not where are our task cards? The question is where are our task cards not? We have task cards available in so many of our resources over on Teachers Pay Teachers. Some of my favorite come from our math units and our weekly grammar units. Check out our TPT store to see all the places you can use task cards in your classroom. Let me know down in the comments, is there another area of your classroom you are dying for some organizational assistance in? Let me know. I would be glad to show you all of the ways I keep things organized and ready to teach within my classroom. If you aren't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I put out new content here for you every single week, and we would love to have you join the Not So Wimpy Teacher community here on YouTube. Last but not least, happy organizing and have a not so wimpy day. Bye.